All right, everyone, get ready, because today we're going deep on how to get ready to study abroad.
Yeah, tons of tips and tricks getting into all those little details.
Yeah, so it's super exciting to study abroad, obviously.
Are the best.
But it can also feel a little overwhelming with, all the things you have to do to get ready.
So much to do.
Yeah, so that's why we're doing this deep dive.
Absolutely.
We're going to be talking about everything from visas and packing to finances and even, adjusting to a new culture.
Hitting all the big ones.
Exactly.
All the things you need to know before you go.
Yeah, so let's jump right in.
Let's do it.
Okay, so visas, everyone always says start early, but, is there anything else we need to know?
Yeah, there's one thing that people always miss.
Okay.
So you know how your passport needs to be valid for at least 6 months after you come back home?
Mm-hmm.
Well, some countries, they actually want that 6-month buffer to start from the day you apply for the visa,
Oh, wow.
not the day you leave.
Oh, that's tricky.
Yeah, so double check that depending on where you're going.
That's good to know.
Yeah, it's all in the fine print.
Okay, all right.
It could save you a lot of trouble.
Noted. Checking that ASAP.
Good.
Okay, what about all the documents we need to keep track of?
This is huge.
Yeah.
Make sure you have digital and paper copies of everything.
Okay.
So we're talking passport, visa, acceptance letter to your program, financial documents,
Oh, right.
health insurance, even emergency contacts.
Okay.
Think of it like this. If your phone dies or your bag gets lost,
Oh, yeah.
you still got everything you need.
That's like that old advice about keeping your passport separate from your money.
Exactly.
Just in case, right?
Just in case.
Okay, good
Try
advice.
to be prepared.
Okay, so we've got our visas, we've got
Yeah.
our documents all sorted.
Check and check.
Now, the big one, finances.
Yes,
Budgeting for studying abroad can be a real challenge.
it is.
So how do we even start?
Well, a lot of the general advice is to make a budget that covers tuition, obviously, and housing, and daily expenses. But I think it's good to go a little deeper than that.
Okay, I'm all ears.
All right, so have you thought about looking for scholarships that are specifically for studying abroad?
You know what? I haven't.
Yeah, see?
I haven't even thought about that.
There are tons of them out there
Oh, wow.
that people just don't know about.
Really?
Some of them are merit-based, some are need-based, some are even just for certain majors or certain countries. It's definitely worth looking into.
That's great advice, yeah.
You never know.
Yeah, it could be a big help.
Absolutely.
Okay, what else should we be thinking about for finances?
Once you are abroad, look into opening a bank account locally.
Oh,
That can actually save you a lot of money
really?
because you won't have to pay all those international transaction fees.
Right, yeah, those can add up.
I've been there. Yeah, it's not fun.
No?
So yeah, definitely look into that.
Okay, so get a local bank account. Good to know.
Yeah, and another thing is, on top of your normal budget, it's good to have what I call an emergency fund.
Yeah,
It's basically just a safety net for those just-in-case moments.
that makes sense.
Like a...
Yeah, like a buffer.
Exactly.
Okay. How much do you think we should, set aside for that?
Well, it really depends.
Okay.
It depends on your situation. Depends where you're going.
Right.
But I'd say at least a few $100s or the equivalent in whatever the local currency is.
Okay, good to have.
Just in case.
Yeah, a little peace of mind.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've talked visas, finances. Now comes the part I always dread, packing.
Oh, yeah.
I never know what to bring.
Packing.
Yeah.
It can be tough.
It is. How do you decide what to bring for such a long trip?
Well, I'm an overpacker myself.
Me too.
But before you even start pulling out your suitcase,
Okay.
there are a few things you got to think about.
All right.
First, the climate.
Oh, right.
Where are you going? What's the weather like?
Right, so if it's unpredictable, you might need layers.
Exactly. And what are you going to be doing? Are you going to be hiking? Are you going to be doing anything outdoorsy?
Good
You're
point.
going to need the right gear for that.
Yeah, yeah.
And don't forget those little essentials that are easy to forget,
Oh, like what?
like adapters, a first aid kit, any prescription medications.
Oh, right.
You're going to need those.
Yeah.
And make sure you have documentation for your medications.
Good reminder.
Yeah, you don't want to have to deal with that when you're jet lagged and in a new place.
Definitely not.
No.
Okay, good tips.
And one more thing about packing.
Okay.
Think about bringing a little something from home that just makes you feel good, like a picture of your family or a cozy blanket, something that reminds you of home, in case you get a little homesick.
That's such a nice idea. A little piece of home.
It can go a long way.
It really can.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got our bags packed.
packed up.
But now, where are we going to live?
Big question.
This is a big one. Accommodation.
So many options.
There's so many options. I know, like, one of the articles we were looking at mentioned campus housing, private rentals, and even homestays.
Yeah, they all have pros and cons.
How do you choose?
So, like, campus housing is great because you've got that built-in social life.
Right.
And you're close to everything.
Yeah.
But you might not have as much independence.
That's true.
Private rentals, on the other hand, give you more freedom.
Right.
But they can be more expensive.
Yeah, and harder to find.
Exactly.
Right.
And then there are homestays, which can be amazing for immersing yourself in the culture.
Yeah, and practicing the language, right?
Totally.
Yeah, I was reading about this student, Anna, who was studying in the UK.
Okay.
And she did so much research to find her accommodation before she went.
Good for her.
And she said it made the transition so much easier.
Yeah, because you've got that peace of mind,
Exactly.
knowing where you're going to live.
Yeah. One less thing to worry about. Okay, so we've covered a lot of the practical stuff.
We have.
But now let's talk about something that can be a bit more challenging.
Okay.
Culture shock.
Ooh, yeah, it's real.
Yeah, this is a big one.
It is.
It's not just about adjusting to a new place. It's like a whole new set of cultural norms.
Absolutely. A whole new way of life.
Yeah, and expectations.
Totally.
So how do we, like, deal with that?
One thing that I've found really helpful
Okay.
is to research the local customs and etiquette
Oh,
before you go.
okay.
Like even small things like tipping customs or how you behave on public transport.
Oh, yeah.
Those could be totally different.
That's true. Like talking on your phone on the train.
Right.
Here, it's like, whatever.
Yeah,
But some places, that's, like, super rude.
totally.
Yeah.
So those little things can really throw you off if you're not ready for them.
Right.
It's not about being perfect. It's just about being aware and being respectful.
That's a great point.
Yeah, just trying your best.
It's all about being respectful, yeah.
Exactly.
And approaching things with an open mind, I guess.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and a willingness to learn.
Yes.
Okay, I like that.
Good.
All right, so speaking of being prepared,
Okay.
let's talk about health and safety.
Important one.
Yeah, this is a big one. So what do we need to keep in mind?
Okay, first things first, schedule a checkup with your doctor before you go.
Okay.
Make sure all your vaccinations are up to date.
Good point.
Yeah, and don't just assume that your current health insurance will cover you internationally.
Oh, right.
That's a mistake people make.
Yeah. Okay.
Call your insurance provider.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you're covered.
Yeah.
Figure out what's included, what's not.
Good advice.
Don't just assume.
Right.
Okay. And it's also a good idea to familiarize yourself with the local healthcare system
Okay.
and emergency services in the country you're going to.
Yeah.
You know, just in case.
Just in case, know where to go, who to call.
Exactly.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, you'll feel much more confident knowing that stuff.
I do, yeah. Feeling more prepared already.
Good, that's the goal.
Okay, so we've covered visas, finances, packing, culture shock, health and safety.
We've been busy.
I think we're making good progress here.
We are.
What's next?
All right, now let's dive into the academic side of things
Okay.
and how to make those all-important social connections.
Sounds good. Let's do it.
Let's go.
Okay, so we've talked about all the practical stuff to get ready for studying abroad.
Yeah, like getting your ducks in a row.
Right, exactly.
But what about, getting ready for the actual classes?
Oh, yeah, good point.
I remember, like, when I went abroad, I was a little nervous about that.
Really?
Yeah, like how different things might be academically,
That's true.
compared to back home.
Yeah, so, like, what are some of the things that people should be aware of?
Well, for one thing, academic systems, they can be super different from country to country.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Like, for example,
Yeah.
in some countries, class participation is like a huge part of your grade.
Mm.
But in others, it's like barely even considered.
Oh, wow, that's a big difference.
Yeah, it can be.
Okay, so how do you even prepare for that kind of stuff?
Honestly, the best thing you can do is like before you go,
Yeah.
do some research
Mm-hmm.
on your host university's academic system.
Okay, so, like, check out their website, that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Go.
And look into things like, how are the lectures formatted? What are the expectations for assignments?
Right, right.
And like, how is the grading scale different?
Oh, yeah, that's important.
Yeah. And another thing that a lot of people don't think about is plagiarism policies.
Oh, right.
Those can be really strict in some places.
Yeah, you don't want to get caught up in that.
No, not at all.
So be careful.
Yeah, do your research.
Okay, one of the articles we were reading mentioned reaching out to the International Student Office at your university.
Oh, yeah, they're a great resource.
Is that a good place to go for this kind of info?
Definitely. Yeah, they can, like, answer any specific questions you might have.
Oh,
And they can often connect you with, like, academic advisors or
what?
peer mentors who can give you some guidance.
So like other students who've been through it.
Exactly.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah, reach out to them. They're there to help.
All right, so International Student Office. Check.
Check.
Okay, something else I've always wondered about is like the language barrier.
Ah, yes.
What if you don't speak the local language fluently?
I mean, that's a common concern,
Yeah.
and it's totally understandable.
Right. Even if your classes are in English,
Yeah.
you're going to encounter situations outside the classroom where you need to use the local language.
Oh, absolutely. Like, what, ordering food?
Oh, yeah. Ordering food, asking for directions, just like chatting with people.
Yeah, just everyday stuff.
Exactly.
Okay, so what do you do?
Well, obviously, like becoming fluent in the language before you go.
Right.
That's like ideal, but not always realistic.
No, for sure.
But, even just learning some basic phrases
Okay.
can make a huge difference.
It's like greetings,
Yeah.
Polite expressions,
Mhm.
numbers, simple questions.
Right, the essentials.
Yeah, just to get by.
Okay.
It shows that you're making an effort.
Right, and people appreciate that.
Yeah, they do, for sure.
I remember, like, even just knowing how to say hello and thank you made me feel so much more confident.
Right, exactly.
And it was like a way to connect with people.
Absolutely. And don't be afraid to make mistakes.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like, people are generally pretty understanding.
Well, I know you're trying.
Yeah, and it's all part of the learning process.
Exactly. Embrace those awkward moments.
Embrace the awkwardness.
Okay, so language barrier tackled.
We got this.
Now, let's talk about, like, the social side of studying abroad.
Oh, the fun stuff.
This is the part I'm really excited about, like meeting new people,
Yeah.
making friends from all over the world.
It's one of the best parts.
Yeah, so how do you make the most of it?
I think the key is just to be really open
Okay.
to different cultures and perspectives,
Right, like step outside your comfort zone.
Exactly.
Be open to new things.
Embrace the unknown,
I like that.
And I think it's also important to, like, actively seek out opportunities to connect with people.
Okay, so like what? Join clubs.
Yeah, join clubs, attend events, go to those, like, orientation things.
Right, put yourself out there.
Yeah, and even just, like, strike up conversations with your classmates.
Okay, good advice.
You never know who you'll meet.
That's true.
And one of the articles we were looking at, it suggested joining social media groups
Oh, okay.
for your university or your study abroad program.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, have you ever done that?
I haven't, but it makes sense. Like a pre-built network of people.
Exactly, yeah, who are all going through the same thing.
And you can like connect with them before you even go.
Exactly, yeah. Find some potential study buddies.
Oh, I love that. Or like travel companions.
Exactly, and who knows?
Yeah.
Those connections could turn into, like, lifelong friendships.
Right. You never know.
You never know.
Okay, so be open, put yourself out there, connect with people.
That's the spirit.
All right, I'm feeling that pre-trip excitement building already.
I love it.
Okay, so we've talked about like the academic side of things and the social side.
Right.
But studying abroad, it's also a huge opportunity for personal growth, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's like this crash course in independence,
For sure.
adaptability, problem solving.
We're constantly navigating new situations,
Right.
figuring things out on the fly.
Yeah, I remember feeling so much more confident
Yeah.
and capable after my study abroad experience.
But it's like it unlocks a new part of you
Totally.
you didn't even know was there.
Yeah, and like you learn to think on your feet,
You do.
be more resourceful,
Mm-hmm.
embrace the unexpected.
Yeah, all those things.
Yeah, it's a great experience.
It is. And those skills, they're going to benefit you way beyond your time abroad,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
like in your career.
Yeah, in life in general.
Exactly.
So it's not just about like traveling to a new place.
It's a journey of self-discovery.
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's something that will stay with you
Mhm.
long after you come back home.
Okay, so we've talked academics, social life, personal growth.
I think we hit all the big ones.
I think we've covered it all, right?
Well, almost.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
one last thing.
Oh, okay. I'm intrigued. What is it?
It's all about mindset.
Mindset.
Yeah, having the right mindset
Okay.
can really make or break your study abroad experience.
Okay, tell me more about this study abroad mindset.
What do you mean?
Yeah, like what does that even mean?
Basically, it's about approaching this whole experience with like a sense of openness,
Okay.
curiosity, and like a willingness to just embrace the unexpected.
Yeah, okay.
Things might not always go according to plan,
Right.
and that's okay.
Yeah, that's so true. Like,
I had a few travel hiccups during my time abroad,
Yeah.
But those actually ended up being like some of the best
Oh, yeah.
stories. Exactly. See, so it's all about being adaptable,
Hmm.
resourceful.
Yeah.
Don't let those little detours, you know, derail your whole trip.
Right. Just roll with it.
Yeah, see them as like opportunities for adventure
I love that.
and growth.
Okay, so it's not just about packing the right things.
It's about packing the right attitude.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, so be open to new experiences, embrace the challenges,
Hmm.
and don't be afraid to step outside your comfort zone.
Yeah, like that sounds like a recipe for an amazing adventure.
It is, and remember, you're not alone in this.
Right.
Like there are so many people and resources out there to support you
Mm-hmm.
every step of the way.
That's good to remember.
Yeah, so don't be afraid to ask for help if you need it.
Okay, good advice.
So as we wrap up this part of our deep dive,
Yeah.
what's like one piece of advice you'd give to our listener who's about to head off on this amazing journey? Just embrace the journey, you know?
Ooh, I like that.
Embrace the journey.
Yeah. Embrace the journey. It's so easy to get caught up in all the planning and the logistics and all.
All the details, yeah.
But it sounds like what you're saying is like, don't forget to actually enjoy the experience.
Exactly. Be present, be curious,
Mm-hmm.
soak it all in.
Yeah.
This is a gift. You know, this is your chance to
Yeah.
learn and grow and explore.
Right.
And it goes by so fast.
It really does. I remember feeling like my time abroad just flew by
It does.
in the blink of an eye. And speaking of time flying by,
Yeah.
I know we've covered a lot in this deep dive.
We have.
Is there anything else we should touch on before we wrap up?
You know, one thing that keeps coming back to me is this idea of being proactive.
Okay. Proactive. What does that look like when you're studying abroad?
It's about like taking ownership of your experience, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
Don't wait for things to happen, make them happen.
I like that. Be the driver of your own adventure.
Exactly. So like if you're feeling homesick, don't just like isolate yourself.
Mhm.
Reach out to people.
Right. Your support network.
Yeah, your friends, your family, or, you know, find some activities that make you feel connected.
Right. Or if you're struggling academically,
Yeah.
don't be afraid to ask for help, you know?
Exactly. Talk to your professors,
Yeah.
go to the tutoring center, whatever it takes.
Or like even other students, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay. And what about if you're like feeling overwhelmed by all the cultural differences?
Yeah, that's totally normal.
Okay.
In that case, like, seek out opportunities to learn more about the local culture.
So like what? Go to cultural events or?
Yeah, go to events, talk to local people.
Right. Just observe like everyday life.
Exactly. Just be curious, be engaged.
Mhm.
And remember, this is not just about academics.
Right.
It's about personal growth, too.
Yeah. Yeah. Pushing yourself outside your comfort zone,
Exactly.
trying new things, maybe even like challenging your own preconceived notions.
Absolutely. And,
Yeah.
you know, in those moments when you're feeling a little uncomfortable,
Yeah.
remember that that's where the growth happens,
That's a good point.
outside of your comfort zone.
Okay. I love all this talk about mindset.
It's important.
It is. It sounds like being proactive, curious, and open to growth are like the key ingredients for a successful and fulfilling study abroad experience.
100%. And you know what? Those qualities,
Yeah,
they'll serve you well way beyond your time abroad.
that's true. That's true. Okay, so to our listener who's about to embark on this amazing journey,
Yeah.
we say this: embrace the unknown, be open to the unexpected,
Yeah.
and savor every moment.
This is your chance, you know,
Yeah.
to create memories that will last a lifetime,
Mm-hmm.
to forge connections that will span continents,
I love that.
and to discover a part of yourself you never even knew existed.
We're so excited for you.
We are.
Bon voyage.
Happy travels.